The discussion focused on creating awareness on Sadhguru's global will now be integrated in the treatment of Vinayak temple. He was received by Sri Sunil Sadanand Shankar Sarvankar. An evening divine event took place at the Geo World Convention Center of the Times Network.
In the same Mundakopanishad from where our Narasimhamurti ji was quoting, it mentions, when does one come to a guru? Parikshalokan karmachitan brahmana nirvedamayat na asti akritakritena tad vijnanartham gurumeva abhigachet samitpanihi shrotriyam brahmanishtam. When does a person turn towards Guru or God? Parikshalokan karmachitan. After having done all kinds of things in this world and carefully having understood what? That which cannot be attained through actions, which is beyond the actions, cannot be understood by the activities of the world, such a thing needs to be understood only with the grace of a Guru. So in a way, the person thinks he can attain everything, the highest happiness by doing activities in the world. Karmachitan, he has done all kinds of activities. Nasti. At the end he realizes that akrita through the krita cannot be attained. That divinity which is beyond actions cannot be attained through all the actions of the world. Now, not knowing how to attain that divinity, the highest peace, satisfaction and bliss, tad vijnanartham, to know what is the way to that divine realization, gurumeva vigachet, he goes to a guru. And how does he go? Samitpani, he goes with dry wood in his hands. Firewood basically, because gurus were conducting yajna yagas, they needed dry firewood, but that was symbolic of one's detachment and complete renunciation. So that when Guru teaches, the wood should catch fire. If it's wet wood, green wood, it won't catch fire, only smoke will come, Guru will also cough, Shishya will also cough, nobody will learn anything in that process. Ma'avid vishavahai. So dry wood means dry minds, bereft of all attachments, bereft of all ideas of I and mine, the individuality, the personality. This man has completely observed that this world is not worth struggling for. I need the higher knowledge, and only after having got blows and bashings and all kinds of disappointments in the world, the person turns towards God. It's not straight away. He turns towards God. After having observed everything and not found any happiness and the satisfaction, only then the person turns towards God. But how should he turn towards God? Samitpanihi. Like a Shishya approaches a Guru with dry wood in his hand, he should approach the Guru with a dry mind, which does not have any attachment or individuality. And what kind of Guru he should approach? Shrotriyam, who is learned of all the scriptures. He knows the scriptural truths. Brahmanishtam, and he is completely dedicated to the idea of Brahman, in the sense he is established in the knowledge of Brahman. Because a blind person cannot lead another blind man. The Guru must be the knower of the truth to lead the Shishya who is still struggling to know the truth. But Shishya also has to be qualified, Guru also has to be qualified. Guru's qualification, he should be learned in all the scriptures. He should understand and experience the scriptures as Brahmanishta. And Shishya's qualification is come with a dry mind, detached mind. Last of the Dashangas is detachment. Only after you have practiced all the 10 values and finally come to the state of detachment that you are even ready to turn towards the Guru. Otherwise, turning towards the Guru also will be of no use to you, because you have not practiced the earlier values, especially the last two of discrimination and detachment. So whatever you do does not qualify you to become a good disciple, because you will not understand whatever Guru says. I see this often, that theoretically we are very good at understanding whatever is being taught or told. Practically we fail to apply this in our daily lives. But what is the point in all the theory? If you read the menu, your stomach doesn't get filled. You must order what is on the menu and eat it. That's when your stomach gets satisfied. But most of the people have become very learned, scholars now because they have read a lot of Upanishads and heard a lot of discourses, and they're very articulate in repeating it like parrots also, maybe better than me. But at the end, if the practice has not happened, if the discrimination, detachment, if the final two values have not happened, nothing has happened. Even if your turning towards Guru will be futile. Because whatever Guru says will not go inside your head. It's like trying to light fire to a wet piece of wood. No fire will be lit. So to make this process of learning and teaching happen smoothly, spontaneously, naturally, both Shishya and the Guru have to be prepared. This is the most important part of being in an ashram, in the sannidhi of a Guru, is to prepare yourself to receive the knowledge that the Guru has come to give. If you don't prepare yourself and think that somehow some magic will happen and you will attain that knowledge, then we are only fooling ourselves. So this is very important. Bhagavan would say, Kadvantora, Nirantera, Kavalanna Ikkuvaradura. Whatever is the size of your vessel, so would be the content of water in it. Even if you dip the vessel, small vessel, in a small pond, in a well, in a river or the big ocean, the amount of water it can hold is according to the size of the vessel, not size of the water body. Likewise, Guru's knowledge may be immense and infinite, but Shishya's capacities are small, therefore the knowledge transfer would not happen. So qualification of a Shishya is extremely, extremely important to benefit from the presence and the wisdom of the Guru. And most important qualification, as I said, once you practice all those 5 C's and 5 D's and finally you reach the last two, most difficult, discrimination and detachment. Nitya, Nitya Viveka, Vastu Viveka, Jiva or Maya Viveka, whichever way you call it, that discrimination. Satya, Satya Viveka. After that comes detachment. Discrimination also we are able to achieve. Detachment we are not able to achieve. That's where we are all failing. And then we come to the Guru and say, nothing happened, you were there, you were there. 10 years I studied near your institution or worked for 10 years. Seems like I have still not understood anything, I have not benefited. Fault is not lies with the Guru. Fault is not with the ocean. Fault is the size of the vessel, which can only contain so much. And if there is a cracked vessel, cracked pots, then that water also will go after some time. That also won't stay. So the important aspect of being in a situation like what we are in is to prepare oneself to be a good disciple. That's all it is. Good Guru is there. Good knowledge will happen. All effort here is to prepare oneself to be a good receiver of that knowledge, good disciple. Until there is an individuality in you, you cannot be a good disciple. Till you have a mind of your own, you can't have two swords in the same scabbard. Likewise, two heads cannot be existing in the process of learning and teaching. The teacher must pass the wisdom, the Shishya must be empty vessel to receive and also a big vessel as much as he can absorb. So this preparedness to be a good disciple is the essence of all the work that we do over here in this ashram. You work as a student or study as a student, you work in the hospital or in the canteen or in the administration or be a devotee who comes here. All these are just activities to help you become a deserving recipient of the knowledge of Guru. And that discipleship is nothing but deservedness to receive the knowledge. And all the efforts that we are putting here is to just become more deserving as disciples. If that is not happening at the end, the most important part, as I said, is discrimination and then detachment. Then we cannot become good disciples. We have a mind of our own, then Guru's mind also enters, there is chaos and confusion. Unless your mind is surrendered to the Guru cannot teach you anything. That is the most important sadhana. All efforts here is just to prepare oneself to be good recipients, good disciples, deserving disciples of the wisdom of the Guru. Otherwise, it's a wasted opportunity. It's like you pour as much as you want on an upside down vessel, no water will enter. Rains are happening, water is there, but water won't enter because it's all upside down, it's turned upside down. So preparedness is what I am trying to teach you, how to prepare yourselves to be good disciples so that you benefit from all that you are able to receive here. And you go back full, not empty. Krishna and Arjuna, I was reading a book. One group of people came from an ashram of Adgadananda Ji Maharaj from UP, and they brought this book called Yathartha Gita. It's basically Bhagavad Gita. Commentary is by Maharaj Ji, Swami Adgadananda Ji. And I was just going through the pages. It reminded me of one guru and disciple of Bhagavad Gita. Arjuna, who knew he knows better than Krishna. In the first chapter, if you read Bhagavad Gita, is Krishna who is the listener, who is simply listening to whatever Arjuna is blabbering. And somehow Arjuna thinks he knows better. Oh, this is not the right thing to do. I don't want to fight the war. Why should I kill my people? I rather beg and eat. What greatness will I achieve by killing my kith and kin? Some continuous nonsense was blabbering. Why? No discrimination, no detachment. And went on and on and on and on. And full first chapter, Krishna, poor guru, just listened to all that absolute blabber. And then in the second chapter, Arjuna gets more intense. My hands are shivering, my legs are shaking, my voice is, throat is parched. Then finally Krishna gives him, what is this? Are you out of your mind? Have you lost your mind? What's wrong with you? This is what Krishna tells him. Klaibhyam magama. Don't become a napunsaka, means unmanly in your ways. You are a Kshatriya. What is this fearfulness? Are you out of your mind? He gives him a mouthful. Then Arjuna is shaken out of this reverie of going on, telling himself something or the other. Then Krishna says, then Arjuna listens. Finally Arjuna says, I think I am confused. He accepts first. See, he doesn't accept in the beginning. Full first chapter, he thinks he's right. He goes on telling Krishna, I am right. This is what should be done. This is the right thing to do. I should be following this. And goes on telling like that. Till Krishna shakes him and says, what are you doing? You're behaving like unmanly. People will laugh at you in the future for the stupidity that you are, putting on display here. Stop it. Then Arjuna says, okay, I'm confused, I think. So first acknowledgement comes from Arjuna, discriminates, I think I am stupid, I'm doing the wrong thing. And then he says, Karpanya dosho, apahat swabhavaha. My nature is not this, to be fearful, to be confused, to be despondent. Swabhava is not, my true nature is not that, apahata. My nature has been as if hijacked, stolen away from me. Karpanya dosho. Because of my cowardice. Because I'm not able to face my fears. Therefore I have become coward. And so my true nature has been lost to me. Pritchami tvam dharma sammuda chetaha. Therefore I ask you, having lost my discrimination, sammuda, I have become confused, deluded, attached. So I am unable to discriminate and decide for myself. So pritchami tvam, I am asking you, please tell me, yat shreyaha nishchitam bruhi tanme. Please tell me what is shreya, means what is good, not what is easy, not what is pleasant, not what I like to do, what is favorable to me. I shall keep aside all my thinking, all my deciding, all my understanding, all my personality, fears, and ask you, tell me what is right thing to do, not what is easy, pleasant, or what I want to do at this point in time. Tell me what is shreya, shreyascha, preyascha, we know that. Tell me what is right. Shishyasteham shadimam tvam prapanna. I am surrendering to you, prapannam. How? As a shishya. I am not coming to you as a cousin, as a friend, as a relative, or even as a king or a warrior. Or in this case, your master in the chariot. I am coming to you out of this foolishness of not being able to decide what is right, what is wrong, because somehow my nature is lost to me. And now I request your help in deciding what is the right thing to do. Fully aware that it may not be what I like to do at this point of time. What I want to do at this point of time, I'm aware of that. With this awareness, I come to you to teach me what is right. How? As a disciple. What was the reason I told you the previous shloka? What is the deservedness of a disciple? To be like a piece of dry wood. So now Arjuna has thrown all the attachments out and says, now I am coming to you unattached to my own ideas of what I think is right and good. Please teach me. Then Krishna takes the podium. Here onwards, Krishna starts speaking. And he teaches him through the Bhagavad Gita, all the chapters. Plenty of them. This is the second chapter, we go all the way till 18th chapter. Teaches him about Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Sankhya Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, and also the nature of the self and the Jiva Brahma relationship, Purushottama, Daiva Asura Sampada Vibhage, he also tells what is the discrimination between right and wrong. Buddhi Yoga, name it, the whole Bhagavad Gita goes like that. At the end, the last chapter, Sri Krishna says, I am done with all my teaching. I am done with all my teaching. And what am I going to do now? He says, Itime jnanam akyatam guhyat guhyatayam tamam maya. Itite jnanam akyatam. This knowledge of mine, jnanam akyatam, I have spoken to you about. Guhyat guhyataram maya. This is the secret of the secrets. This ultimate secret. That is what I have told you in the whole of Bhagavad Gita. Because before that, no Guru has spoken in such detail about all the aspects of human existence. The detailing of Bhagavad Gita is so wonderful. So he says, I am telling you about it. Itite jnanamakyatam guhyat guhyataram maya. Then he says, I have done my part. What is your part? Vimrashyeta datesh asheshena, he says. Think about it now. Asheshena. Without leaving anything to misunderstanding, not understanding or wrong understanding. Understand everything that I have spoken to you, contemplate on it now. Digest. Then yathechasi tatha kuru, he says. Now then you do as you please. I'm not going to come and tell, let's start the battle, let's start fighting. After having heard me for 17 or 16 chapters, having told you several times over and over again, all my knowledge, the entire secret of entire universe I have explained to you. Now vimrishyeta dasheshena yathechasi tatha kuru. Think about it deeply, contemplate on it, realize it, and then decide to do what you want. See, Krishna doesn't say, I am deciding it for you. You stay here or you go away, you work here, you don't work here. I am not deciding anything for you. I am just telling you what is right, what is good, and what is the ultimate truth, what is the ultimate secret. And I have done it with all my honesty and all my abilities. I have not hidden anything from you. I have spoken everything that I know of as a good guru. And some gurus are there very jealous. They don't want to tell all the knowledge to disciples. Dronacharya was like that. He kept that Brahma Astra Vidya only for his son. Didn't teach anybody else. But this Krishna is a very good guru. He teaches everything that he knows. And says, now you decide what you need to do. Yathechasi tatha kuru. I am not going to interfere with your decision making. Good sense prevails after 16 chapters. And Arjuna says, what does he say? All of us know. Nashto moha smritir labdha. My delusions have been destroyed and I have regained my discrimination, my memory, what is right, what is wrong. Somehow I had got deluded. Tvatprasadad mayachyuta, because of your grace, I am incapable of this realization. I know my mind. Chanchalam himanaha. I know my mind. I was incapable of even coming to this conclusion. Your grace has brought me this far. So he says, Nashto moha smritir labdha tvat prasad mayachyuta sitosmi gata sandeha. I have become steady. Sita, earlier I was unsteady. Monday one decision, Tuesday another decision, Wednesday another. I am steady now. Sitosmi gata sandeha. All my doubts have been dispelled. So, what shall I do now? Karishye vachanam tava. Sweetest 3 words that Krishna heard in the whole of Bhagavad Gita from Arjuna. All other words are just questions and investigations and doubts and fears and apprehensions and all kinds of curiosity. But these 3 words he says, because this has happened to me, nashto moha smritir labdha, I have lost the delusion and regained my memory, discrimination, by your grace. So, now I am steady and all my doubts have gone. Therefore, what I will do, I shall do not as I please, but as you please. Karishye vachanam tava. That surrender finally happens. And what does Krishna say immediately? Don't worry about doing and not doing. Sarva dharman parityajya. Forget about all these idea of I am the doer, I am not going to be the doer, I am going to be the sinner or saint. Forget all this. I just wanted to hear these 3 words from you. Here now you are my responsibility. He says, Sarvadharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja. Come to my refuge, come surrender to me. Leaving all these idea of you are a Kshatriya, non-Kshatriya, you are fighting with your kin or why you are fighting, what is the reason. Forget all that. Just come and surrender to me. Mamekam sharanam vraja. Aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami mashucha. Even if you commit a sin, because you are still learning. There may be mistakes, you may make mistakes in the future also. I will forgive all of them if you surrender to me. You are going to kill your kith and that is, there is a sin associated with it. Okay, after this also there is the rest of your life ahead of you. You might make mistakes there also. Okay, if you are surrendered to me, I shall forgive you, I shall accept you, forgiving all your shortcomings and sins. Moksha ishyami, and I'll free you from all these idea of bondage, of doership and enjoyship. I'll free you from that. Moksha ishyami Mahashucha. Don't worry, don't worry, don't worry. Mahashucha, don't worry. I shall take care. If you sarvadharman parityajya mahamekam sharanam praja. And then Vyasa is thrilled by listening to this whole story. And he concludes. What does he say? The final conclusion. This is the only shloka Vyasa says. Yatra yogishvara krishno yatra partho dhanurdharaha tatra Shri Vijayo bhuti dhruvaniti matirmama. Wherever such a guru as Krishna and such a disciple as Arjuna exist together, Yogishvara, Brahmanishta, Yogishvara exists, and Dhanurdhara, Samidpani, he exists. When they come together, possibilities are infinite. They can achieve anything. Shri, prosperity of all material and spiritual. Vijaya, conquering their inside and outside both. Vibhuti, or the glory, the name, whatever you call it. All Vijaya, Shri, Bhuti, it will happen. And not that it will happen only now. Dhruvaniti. This is a law which is eternal, undisputed, unchangeable law. Wherever such a guru and such a disciple come, a disciple with such detached surrender and a guru with such clear knowledge of the self, they come together, anything is possible. Shri Vijaya Bhuti. Infinite are the possibilities when they come together. This is the beauty of a Guru Shishya Parampara. This is the beauty of the scriptural truths that Guru teaches to the Shishya. And of all, the greatest of all teachers is Sri Krishna himself, because he lives that every day. And if you want one example of whatever he said just now, Atma Krida Atma Ratihi Kriyavan Esha Brahma Vidam Varishta, Sri Krishna is the highest example. Sitting in the middle of a battlefield and teaching the highest Vedantic truth, not just that, taking the responsibility of that faltering disciple and assuring him of moksha only upon his surrender. What an example of Guru and what an example of Shishya Bhagavad Gita presents. We have heard Bhagavad Gita, I've spoken hundreds and thousands of words through this throat only. Not once, twice. First I did for a whole year. Slowly, gradually, took you chapter by chapter, hour after hour. Though I was in Fiji, though I had a stent in my heart, whatever it took, I never stopped. Gita to Gita I completed because I was very interested that everybody learns it. Not satisfied with that, I was not sure Nashto Moha Smriti Labdha happened or not. Therefore, one more Bhagavad Gita Sarasarita for 15 days we continued learning and talking. Despite that, I see students not surrendered to me. Despite this, I see students who talk big, lofty Vedantic truths and lecture everybody around in the ashram, but when it comes to following, they are so attached to their idea, their personality, their individual. They say the institutional values don't match their individual values. Look at that nonsense. What is that to not match here? Institutional values or spiritual values? Unless you have a worldly, materialistic, stupid ideas, you won't have a match with our institutional values. And then they go and, can you believe some stupid fellow does this? He goes and does a mistake to get caught so that he can be kicked out of the institutions. It is his plan, it seems, strategy to how to kick himself out from the institution, because I am such a compassionate guru that I will not leave the hand of one whom I have caught hold of. I will always protect them. So I will, like that Pura Nidaga and Ribu thing. Ribu will go and protect his disciple. But look at the disciple, he wants to commit a sin so that Guru has no reason to retain him. And even if his guru wants to retain him, he cannot explain it to the chancellor, vice chancellor, registrars, and all the authorities why he is retaining him despite such nonsense and indiscipline. Look at the patience of mind that students test. Somebody whom I keep on my life, feed them, clothe them, educate them, care for them, look after their whole family, not just him. And after 10 years, they kick on my back and say, I am doing this so that I am kicked out of these institutions. I want to be so disobedient, indisciplined, and so ruthless and cruel that even if your compassion wants me here, the institution's rules should not permit me to be here, therefore I should be out of the institution. Can you believe harakiri of the best of example is presented by students of ours? Atmahano, killing yourself, says our Isha Upanishad. Those who do not understand, andham tamah pravishanti. Ekecha atmahano janaha, this committing suicide, spiritual suicide by doing this nonsense. Mudadihi calls Adi Shankara. Labdva narajanma. Katam chin narjanma durlabham, he says. However you have got of a human birth, you could have been born insect, animal, creatures of some lower kind. Having got human birth, having got this amazing grace that Shrutipara Darshanam, Pipraha, all this has happened to you. Still you forget about putting efforts on the spiritual path. You want to do wrong things so that I should not have any explanation left with me to the institution heads. Why should this boy or this girl should still be forgiven and retained? To that extent, they are pushing the limits of my compassion and patience. This after hearing Bhagavad Gita like over and over again with all my sincerity and so much of love. Because they have fallen in love with the opposite gender. This is the period. Kamini Kanchana. This is Ramakrishna used to say. All his disciples he told. Stay away from these two, Kamini and Kanchana. Kamini means attractions for the opposite gender, sexual attraction. And two, Kanchana, desire for wealth and prosperity and material prosperity. These two, if it enters your head, Guru, Shishya, Bhagavad Gita, Upanishads, everything goes out of the window. And how far it goes, you want to make a mistake in such a way that there should not be reason to forgive you. You are creating a situation around yourself. Can you be bigger cheat to a guru? Can you be a bigger criminal? If you think even this way, after having received everything, suppose there was nothing taught here, you had incapable of understanding anything, you have never heard these beautiful truths of our scriptures, and then you decide to do as you please out of your foolishness, forgivable. Knowing everything, falling for some stupid idea, and then trying to do things in order to get yourself removed from the institutions, leaving no scope for Guru to show any more compassion. So that if Guru shows compassion again, he should look stupid in front of the entire institution. To that extent you push your Guru. What kind of sin is this? There is a forgiveness, there is a parihara to this sin. Imagine Arjuna after hearing 16 chapters tells Krishna, forget everything else, I don't listen to you, I don't like you, I don't want to follow anything. I have got my own mind, I am going ahead and doing as I please, I am leaving. What would the warriors watching this whole Bhagavad Gita happen think of Krishna? What were you doing in the battlefield? Teaching this Arjuna is undeserving of your grace and your tutorship. And now he's walking away, walking out of the battlefield, leaving you stranded in the middle. What respect and what glory would that be to the Guru? So who is at fault? Was Krishna would be at fault or Arjuna? Guru is not at fault. Guru did everything and more in his might. Yogakshemam vahamyaham. Everything he did. But if the disciple finally says, my moha is not become nashta, my smriti has not come back to me, I do not have any steadiness, and therefore I will do karishne vachanam mama. I will do as I please. I do not listen to anybody here. I don't listen to you at all. Somebody says like this, what would be the reaction or what would be the response of the onlookers? This is why I keep telling our students, especially at the age that you are in, don't have misplaced compassion. No, this whole relationship starts with some one gender telling the other gender how sad their lives have been, how difficult they have suffered so much, and then the other gender becomes so compassionate. Of all the people in the world, they become compassionate. This one particular person, they want to do everything and more in their might to protect them, as if they have the capacity to do that. And look at the stupidity of these people. They come to ashram where I am there. I am looking after millions of people's welfare, both material and spiritual. You come as a devoted disciple to this place, saying that we have come to learn and take refuge in you. Then you want to take refuge in an opposite gender who is in the ashram, because somehow you feel that fellow will do better job than I can do. And this fellow stupidity thinks that he can actually protect the other person more than me. Look at the stupidity of human mind is all I'm saying. How low it can fall, how quickly it can fall. This is why Adi Shankaracharya, Vivek Chudamani starts, he wants. Durlamavam Trayavemaita, all that is okay. If it happens to you, Daivanugraha Hetukam, it is a big, big blessing. Manushyatvam, Mumukshatvam, Mahapurusha Samshraya, all this happening to you, very good. But Labdva Narajanma Katham Chit. Tatra Viprataha Tatrapi and Shrutipara Darshanam. You have heard about the scriptures also. Just tu Atma Muktaihi na yateta Mudadihi Sahi Atmanaha Vinihat. He kills himself. Sadrahat. He is like somebody who is killing himself. In Japan they call it harakiri. You tear your stomach open and kill yourself to protest against something. This is what it is. So I am not saying that Ishavasya Upanishad is simply written and the fourth shloka is just put in place without a reason or logic. No, I am seeing the live examples, practical demonstration of all these shlokas and their cautions and warnings in our institutions. This is after all the years of teaching, training, loving, caring, guiding, chiding, everything. Finally also the mind is so capable of saying, I know what is right and I know what to do. And when I say it's not right, you shouldn't do this, you end up doing a mistake so gross that there should not be an opportunity to forgive you. You are creating situations like that. How far a human mind can push you into this abyss of hell? This is the capacity of a human mind. Therefore, be cautious. Jagrata, Jagrata, Praptyavarani Bodha. Don't give up. I say, mind is like that. Chanchalami Mana Krishna. Pramadi Balavadranam. It is very difficult to control. Vayurivas Dushkaram, he says. Difficult as if to control wind, how it is difficult to control, so also is difficult to control. And Krishna says, yes, of course I agree. But abhyasena kauntakeya vairagyena chagriyate. Do abhyasa, do practice. What practice? Not just listening to my satsangs and listening to these discourses and rattling it out like a very good parrot or a tape recorder. That is not practice. Memorizing is not practice. Practice is discriminating and detaching. This is why I am going on repeating cultural values, individual values, organizational values. Because at the end of all that, discrimination and detachment is something that you have not learned. You have not learned anything. You haven't prepared yourself to be a disciple at all. So where is the jnana dana going to happen? Even if I do dana, where is the patra to or patratva to receive it? It is not going to happen. See, this far mind can push you. And these are not some hypothetical situations I am talking of, which might have happened in Kruta Yuga or some Dwapar Yuga or some Treta Yuga or something, because which Upanishads have got written all these terms and conditions and cautionary notes. No, this is happening right here now, and after Ishavasya Upanishad I finished just a couple of days back. Still people are like that. What should be done with such people is the question. Either they fall into line to understand, oh, Karpanya dosho apahat svabhavaha, I have lost my discrimination, sorry, please guide me. And then they surrender. Shishyas teham shadi mam, I'm surrendering to you. Not that Krishna and Arjuna did not know each other for years, they knew. But somehow Arjuna thought he knew better. But finally when he surrenders, only then Krishna is telling, Sarvadharman Parityajya, okay, done. Mahamekam Sharanam Raja, come as a surrendered disciple to me. Ham tvam sarva papebhyo, I'll forgive and forget everything. And give you not only that, I'll give you the way to moksha also. That also I'll assure. What compassion Krishna has. That's why I feel so much for Krishna. Because the most misunderstood, whatever avatar, Sri Rama is misunderstood for one or two reasons. Krishna is misunderstood, a whole list of reasons are there. Of questions being asked about Krishna. But look at his heart, look at the quality of the teacher that Krishna is. And look at that's why you imagine coming from this situation, when this happens, that the mind surrenders to the Atman, Vyasa is thrilled. He jumps in joy and declares to the world, ah, if this happens again, know for sure there will be Sri Vijaya Bhuti Divaniti Mama. Know for sure this will happen too. He is thrilled, Vyasa is thrilled in his last stanza. Because he has seen an amazing happening, an event happening. A hard to convince, very stubborn, deluded, confused, and superior than thou type Arjuna surrenders to a compassionate, patient, almighty, yet all benevolent Krishna, who says, do as you please, I have taught you everything is right. Whatever is right, whatever I know, whatever best I can teach you, I have taught you. Just do what is right, and this is what you should do. And still, Vyasa is waiting with a bated breath. What is this stupid Arjuna going to do now? And he is thrilled. Arjuna says, Karishya Vajram Tava. Vyasa is thrilled. He says, what a wonderful thing has happened. Jivatma has merged in Paramatma. The human mind has become one with the divine. And therefore, all amazing things are going to happen over here. So, Bhagavad Gita is not some impractical text to be read and vomited again and again. It is to be applied when, here and now. How discriminating and detaching. This is Bhagavad Gita. And if that is not happening to you at this place here, when your mind is pushing you this way or that way, you have learned nothing, and the fault is not with the Guru. I would not consider myself inadequate or incapable. I will not entertain self-doubts about my teaching and my sincerity. I will only leave it to your karma prabhava, and your mind which you have not tamed so far, despite all the wonderful opportunities that have been given to you. Ekecha atmahano janaha. That is the fate of those who do not put efforts on the spiritual path, despite having received all the benefits of the Guru, Manushyattvam, Mukshutvam, Mahapurush Sanshraya, everything after you receive, you have not done this. Atmano janaha. And the person is sitting in the hall. If you are sitting, listen to it and go and vimrishyeta dasheshena. Think about it deeply. And if you still are thinking that a woman's bosom is greater than a guru's feet, leave. This is all I can say. Because you have not understood what is it all about. And that is where I want to close today's discourse, saying these values have not spoken just out of my mind. Someday I wake up, I don't know what to speak today in satsang, let us say something. No, I have deeply thought. I always tell, if I have to speak for an hour, I will think for a day. If I have to speak for a minute, I will think for an hour. Then only I will speak what I need to speak. And when I speak, having given so much of thought out of concern and compassion, it is your bounden duty to contemplate, assimilate, and practice. Practice. Not practice of memorizing shlokas. Practice of putting it into your daily life. And when your mind torments you with these kind of vagaries, tell Shreyahan, Yat Shreyam Syad Nishchitam Bruhitan me. Please teach me what is right thing to do. And it's not that today if you overcome your mind and its vagaries, tomorrow it's not going to act up again. It will do. Till the mind is fully dissolved into the divine, it will keep popping up every now and then and doing some nonsense. Every time it does, go back to Bhagavad Gita, go back to this Arjuna's way of doing things, go back to understanding Krishna's compassion, go back to this process. 5 steps. Shishyasteham, I am your disciple. Krishna says, Yadechasi tatha kuru, as you please, do as you please. Karishye vachanam tava. Moksha ishyami mashucha dhruva niti matir mama. This is the life story of all gurus and disciples. Starts with discipleship, being prepared as a detached disciple. Shishyasteham shadimam tvam prapannam. Then Krishna teaches everything and says, Vimrishyete tadeshena yathechasi tatha kuru. Then Arjuna says, Sitosmi gata sandeha karishye vachanam tava. And then Krishna says, Mokshayishyami mashucha. Aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami mamshucha. And then Vyasa jumps in joy. Yatra yogishwara Krishno, yatra partho dhanurdhara, tatra Shri Vijayo bhuti dhruva niti matir mama. This Bhagavad Gita should be applied here and now. And if you don't apply and practice now and you come up with these stupid incidents again and again to trouble a guru like me, let me tell you, I cannot wish ill of anybody. That's not in my nature. But karma and karma prabhava are the law of this universe. They will take care of everything. And Ribu can go over and over to Nidaga and keep teaching him. But till the good sense gets into Nidaga, said Ribu cannot do anything. See the helplessness of the divine in front of the free will of human, which also has been gifted to the human by the divine only. But the game is such that unless the free will is given back to the God, God is helpless in front of his own rules and laws. He is just a helpless witness to the vagaries of human will. So surrendering human will to the divine is the key to being a good disciple. That's when jnanam will happen. And nahi jnanena sadrisham. There is nothing equal to this knowledge of the highest truths. And when that happens to somebody, Daivanugraha hetukam, this is only because of divine grace. Tat prasad mayuchita, your grace has prevailed upon my free will. Therefore, this has happened to me. And that grace has been attracted because one attempt has been made to surrender that free will to the great divine will. So if we were capable of understanding what is good and what is not good for ourselves, why we need gurus, why we need scriptures, why we need temples and gods? Human minds are incapable of it. They are very fragile and very, very vagrant. They cannot stay steady. And therefore, you need the guidance. You need the guidance of the scriptures. You need the guidance of the gurus. And you must learn from the history of humanness, human people, the societies where people have deviated despite having gurus, but only by guru's grace and their little surrender of free will could they come back to the right path and continue their journey. Otherwise, the loss is not of the guru, not of the scriptures, not of the world. Loss is individuals only. What will happen? Punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam, keep going on. Circle and circle and circle and circle. And then finally he'll dump you. Guru will say, good riddance. He takes so much of my time and energy, doesn't follow anything. Punarapi jananam, keep going on. Enter new mother's wombs every time, take a birth again, go through the whole process endlessly. Get into that loop, endless loop of birth and death. That's what Guru can say and leave it at that. So don't you push limits of Guru's compassion and patience. Gain some sense, learn from the history of how many people have made the same mistake and how many of them have recovered because of good sense that prevailed at the end. So you also put efforts and think about it. There is a time for everything. I always say, right thing done at the right time will yield right results. Right thing done at the wrong time, wrong thing done at the right time will yield wrong results only. This age is Vidyarthi. You are Vidyarthi, focus on Vidya, Vidyarjana. Then there will be Sukharti. You will also be seeking some pleasures of the world, which is a part of your makeup, whatever your mind is, gunas, prabhava will be there. That time also will come. Do it dharmic way then. Then you want another stage will come. When you become Sevarthi, you are to want to do seva only. You don't want anything else for yourself. And finally at the end you will become Atmarthi. You will only work for the emancipation of yourself. So Vidyarthi should behave like Vidyarthi. That's all I am trying to say. It's not like Sukharthi. Sukharthi will happen later. Similarly, Sevarthi will happen after that. And Atmarthi will happen at the end. But if Atmarthi happens to you right here and now, you are very, very fortunate. That's all I can say. You have overpowered the power, whatever, the effects of your own Purva Janma Prarabdhas, which has happened because of both your surrender and Guru's grace. They came together, therefore this beautiful thing has happened. If it is not happening to you, please don't hold your Guru responsible for it. You are responsible. Uddaret Atmana Atmanam. You alone can emancipate yourself by first surrendering to the Guru. Then Guru will take over from there. I'll take over. The journey forward will be Guru's responsibility. But the first step of surrendering your individuality and mind and your ideas and peculiarities is the beginning of this transfer of knowledge. If that does not happen, nothing can happen. How much ever Guru talks, how many ever discourses I give, how many ever Paravidya Shibiras, end result is Shunyam, Shunyamidam, Shunyamadam, Shunat, Shunyamudachyate. That's what will be the final conclusion. Therefore, pick yourself up and do what is needed while the time is still there. Because once the time passes, I don't know how many janmas will it take to get back to the same spot. You don't know how many deviations you have made, how many wrong roads you have turned into, how many traffic jams you will get caught into, that finally you will make it to the same place without any progress. Don't ruin this opportunity. Don't undersell yourselves of this wonderful, great opportunity of being at the right place with the right people, with the right guru, doing the right things. Don't ruin this opportunity, is all that I would say. A guru's heart is like that, you have to understand. He is extremely concerned about the welfare of his disciples and people. And I told this knowledge should not be told to others, but I have considered you as all as my own, whoever has come here. Therefore, this effort is being put. And that is what I can do. Beyond that, there is nothing that I can do. It's not in my capacity. I have that is my limit also. When people don't surrender, I cannot interfere and I cannot hijack them or kidnap them and do what I want with them. Not possible. I will not touch them unless there is surrender. So when I see also in the ashrama people, when I see a surrendered devotee, I take charge. I tell them, even if they are doing something wrong, I tell, keep quiet, you are doing wrong, do it this way. But when they are not surrendered, I just stay out. Whatever they say, okay, as you feel is right, as you feel is right. That is what I keep telling. Me ishtam. That was the most two dangerous word that you can ever hear from Bhagavan's mouth. Me ishtam. The moment he says me ishtam, he has given up on you. He has left you. He has decided to withdraw, not take charge of any more responsibilities of your life. Me ishtam. I have heard it like, I don't know, hundreds of times in the portico. When students will come and say, Swami, I want to study this. He look at their face, he knows these people have no surrender, they have not come here to ask anything or guidance, they only come to inform what they have decided. Me ishtam. The moment you hear me ishtam, I know this fellow is going to ruin his life now. And this I have heard over and over many times. Those who have lived in Puttaparthi know. Narsimurti will know better than anybody else. The moment he says me ishtam, your wish, end of the Guru Shishya relation there. Never allow Guru to come back and say me ishtam. We should tell to Bhagavan, me ishtam, your wish, Bhagavan, not my wish. Thy will, not my will. Karishye vachanam tava. These are the words that we must speak to the Guru, not the other way around. Please don't, as I said, let this not, as they say, history repeats itself only when we forget history. Why these incidents are repeating? Because we are forgetting what happened 5 years ago, 10 years ago. So we are repeating it again. Don't keep doing this. It's not right. That's why we have to learn from history, they say. Learn from your own history. Learn from your own seniors. Learn from what happens. And this is how the age and time when you have to be extra careful, extra cautious. That is why all these lectures, that is why so much of Paravidya, that is why so much of emphasis on all these kind of things that I speak again and again, over and over again. So while I'm happy doing all the seva and other things, that's not my primary job. That is the mechanism to prepare you into good disciples. That's a machine, as I said. This mission is a machine to process that raw input that you are into a useful person at the other end, a good outcome, a good product at the other end. That's all the mission is about. But my job is to grant you the ability to attain salvation, to attain realization. That is my main job. Everything else is secondary. Service and all will happen only if it trains you to become a befitting disciple or a deserving disciple. Then all the service is fine. But after doing all these things, if that is not happening, then what is the point in running this institution? You are not going to benefit out of it. Some poor person who is sick or whatever, they get benefited, hungry get benefited. That's a limited use of this big machine. It is underutilization. You buy a car which can go 300 miles an hour, but you have a bad roads, you have a bad driver, and then you only can do 60 miles. You feel terrible. Ask somebody who buys a sports car and then suffers the fate of Indian roads. He says, why did I buy this car at all? Don't do this to yourself. Don't shortchange yourself. Don't underutilize this opportunity. This is what I have to say. And I say it from all my heart that I wish you all the very best in this journey. I want you all to become disciples and eventually masters. I said, be like me. You can help me only by becoming me. Another me can do so much more for so many people in the world. They will also be coming out of these cycles of birth and death. So your job is to do that, not fall into these petty, silly ideas of worldly relationships. That will happen when the time is right, not when you are studying, when you are just starting your journey. You don't jump guns. This is unnecessary, unwanted. In fact, it is actually wrong. So therefore, stay away from these, and elders should guide students. What's the point in of all you've been through this journey? You have 10 steps ahead, 20 steps ahead. Look at your that compassion you should show. Guru keeps coming back like a boatman. I say, why he has crossed the river, but he comes back to fetch more. What are elders doing? Elders should pay attention to these things and guide them correctly. When you see the mistake happening, when the crack has started, then and there you seal it, nip it in the bud. Not assume that somehow things will go right. No, it won't. That is the job that elders are here for, mentors are here for. Everything else you keep aside. You are busy, your portions have been completed, how many got first class. This is all our interest is. That happens in all institutions around the world. They are not interested in Atma Vidya. They are interested in only this worldly Vidya. If you are also only interested in that and delivering that as your duty, you are not doing your duty here. You are not doing complete duty. This is job of the elders, and anybody see something going wrong, they should feel this is our institution, these are our children, they can deviate, we should immediately come to the rescue of those children. Based on our experience, we should help them navigate this chakravyuha, where you get inside but you don't know how to get out. Somebody with experience should guide. So this is a job of everybody, to guide and help everybody, out of concern. This is the first value of concern, that's what I said. Don't look the other way. Not my job. That's a wrong attitude. Correct it when and where something you notice which is out of the way. Correct it then. Don't bring it all the way up to me to that I have to go down and set things right again. It is demeaning your guru. It is actually a kind of humiliation, an embarrassment to do this for me. You should do it at your level and close it, right? Please pay attention. These values are not just words. This is what I deeply feel can save us all and save the institution, save you in the future. And of all the values, I say start with concern and end with detachment. This is the journey of your spiritual life. If you can undertake this journey, everybody will be not just fit disciples, you will become gurus who will guide many more on this path. May such a thing happen. May I live to see such a day. With this wish I conclude.